What's going on, J-Dub?
What up, dog?
Man, it's been a minute.
I know, right? How you been?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you for joining us on this. We've known you for a long time, so it's just great to reconnect and talk about some of that work that you've done.
No doubt. It's
I mean,
always
let's get always love, man. Let's get started here. A lot of people, of course, know you working with Diddy as part of the Bad Boy Hitmen team. Just kind of talk about the beginnings of that. How did you become a part of the Hitmen?
well. It's kind of a funny story. Well, back then we did demos. You know, for a group to get signed, you had to have a great demo.
Yep,
So I was with a company called Noontime, and they
yep,
had this group called Absolute.
yep,
So I did the demo, and we definitely had our own sound. It was unique,
yep,
and we shopped it to Def Jam, Sony, and Puff heard it,
yep,
and Puff was like, "Who did the music?" Like JW, whatever. So he flew down to Atlanta like a
yep.
Friday, and I played them on my DATs. Back then, you had DATs. So I had all my beats on my DATs. I played it for him, and I just blew him away. So
Wow.
like Friday, like Monday I was in New York, and then like Wednesday I had like paperwork to be a hitman. So
Wow, that's
it
crazy.
was
So
it went quick.
when you when you get to Bad Boy and Diddy's there, the other hitmen are already there, Stevie J's there. Like, who was the first person there that made you realize, like, I got to get to that level? Like, did anyone stand out?
Stevie,
Yeah,
uh, um, I think I had just signed, and it's the world famous MIDI room. It's where the hitmen, like, we came up with great, like, a lot of hits
yep,
ideas. So we were we would all hang out in the MIDI room. So I went in the MIDI room, and Sleeves had the crazy setup. He had keyboards and guitars and everything. I was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be. So, you know, the
that's
rest, as they
amazing.
say, is history.
Absolutely. And we got to talk about these hits that you guys did, but just talk about that turnaround time from being signed on the dotted line to getting your first placement, which, I know you did the SWV record. Like, how fast was that turnaround time?
Actually, I think the SWV record was my first single and my
Yeah,
first hit, like, because it went gold.
yeah,
Uh, Someone featuring Puff. Um,
yeah.
like, I think I got signed. So like right after I signed, I think like that weekend we were in the studio. Puff was like, "Yo, we got SWV's next single, so I need that heat." So he brought me that sample. That I got 500 sample. He's like, "Go crazy." So I looped it up in the MPC and in the MIDI room, and it was one of those loops like, as soon as you loop it up, like I hit play on the MP, and that's like boom, and it hit. It was like, yeah. So
Wow.
after that, Kelly Price, Kelly Price actually wrote the song. She
Yep.
wrote the song and demoed the song. So and I think it was in a movie or something. So
Hmm.
like it was like a whirlwind. It was like so the
Wow.
turnaround time for that, I would say like 2 to 3 weeks. So the song mix, cut, single, and shooting a video. Like it was quick.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Back then it was I could work on a record like literally on a Thursday because I've always lived here in Atlanta, but I would go back
Yep.
and forth wherever I needed to go.
Yep.
So I would always have to go to New York to do records back then. So I would literally work on a record like on a Thursday, and when I was done, I would come straight back to the crib. Um, and I'd be in the mall at back home like on a Saturday, and like that record that I worked on that Thursday be on the radio, rocking.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. It was like it was a machine. You know what I mean?
That's
But that's
crazy.
why we were so successful because we kept constantly putting shit out. We didn't care. We was like, yo, we were working. So
Wow.
yeah,
So, J-Dub, talk about working with Diddy early on. You know, you had done beats on your own. Here Diddy comes. He might not be working the machine like everyone else, but he has his input, he has his ear. Like just talk about that experience.
yeah, yeah. With Puff, it's his ear and
Yeah.
how he hears a record and how he hears a song. Like he can hear like a string line that
Yeah.
only and there's only a few producers that can get that that he
Yeah.
works with that can like kind of get what he's saying and translate it. I'm one of those producers, so um, he knows how to put a record together, and that's
Yeah.
what the definition of a music producer is. Somebody puts the record together from start to.
Right.
He knows how to do that. So I learned a lot from him, um, watching him put a record together. So,
Yeah.
just working with him, being around him, you can learn a lot. You know what I mean?
I mean, one of the records that you did with Puff and Mace, Jealous Guys, now that when I listen to that, like they're singing on that song
Yeah,
and like when you first hear it, it's kind of crazy, but then when you hear the whole thing and you hear 112 in the back, it kind of works. Like just take
right.
me back to that song.
Yeah, and again, that's all Puff. Like that's his ear. Like who would think how to mesh that together? But it worked. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. That was a great one. And then of course, you were on the Kelly Price record, friend of mine. Like just take me to that song because that song is a classic today. Like just take me through the creation of that one.
Um, we actually did that track in LA. Biggie was still alive. Um, I forget which studio we were in, but it was me and Dent. We had just got signed to Bad Boy, so like everybody's out LA, and all I remember is Biggie walking in the studio, with with his whole crew, and me and Dent like, yo, we got to make some heat.
Yeah.
So we didn't have like our session was like right next door to his, so we were just vibing, and we made that track actually out there in
Hmm.
LA, and then we were doing so many records with Kelly, so we would just like give Kelly beats, and she would write to him, and then she
Yeah.
just came back and was like, "Yo, this is gonna be my first single." He was like, "What?" So it was like one of those records, like it was unexpected, but
Mm.
and it came out and it was a big hit for her, a
Yeah, because
monster hit.
Kelly, Kelly is an amazing vocalist, but her songwriting, her pen
Oh, her
is
pen is
incredible.
her pen is crazy. Like all that Bad Boy stuff.
Yeah.
Like when we were running radio, like she wrote all
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
yeah. So
And then J-Dub, I want to fast forward here to 1998 here. I don't know if you remember. I want to get it from your perspective because that 112, that second album, Total second album, and
okay.
Faith's second album, that came out like 1 week right after one another. And you're on all three albums. Like, just take me back to that period. You must have been working.
Yeah, it was a factory. Um, I was blessed to get signed at that time when all those acts had albums that were slated for release. So
Yep.
being that I had just got signed, I was a sure deal to work on all of those acts.
Hmm.
So, and back then I was a music making machine. Like so, I had to like debts and debts and debts, just full of work, just work like 24/7 because that's all we did.
Yep.
Like Like we didn't. It wasn't really too much partying and all like that. Like people might think, oh, they just nah. We were in there just banging out, banging. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that's why we were so consistent. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a busy time. I would have a session at Daddy's house with Total like in the morning, and then
Yeah.
like that evening would be at Sony with 112 doing their album. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Then after that, later that night, I might have to go do some overdubs for Puff for the No Way Out album. Like that
Yeah.
album was so crazy. Like
Yeah.
like the energy, like we had a lot of fun doing that album. But I mean,
Yeah.
what 8 million records later. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Jay, talk about, so we're looking at this 112 album, this Total album, and this Faith album. You were part of all three. I don't think your production on these albums sound like one another. How did you kind of differentiate what you were going to give to 112 versus what you're giving to Faith versus what you're giving to Total at that time?
Um, I was a fan of 112 and Faith and Total
Yeah.
when I got signed. So
Mm.
I I kind of already knew their sound. So when I was doing beats, I'd be like, oh, yo, I'm gonna take this for Total. Oh, this
Mm.
will be awesome for 112. Oh, Faith gonna kill this. Oh, Mace might, you know what I'm saying? So you kind
Yeah.
of go in with it like you would have actually like your dads, like, yo,
Yeah.
these are for Mace, these for Faith, these for Total. You know what I'm saying? These for
Hmm.
the locks. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You know what I'm saying? These for Black Rod. You know what I mean? These for Puff. You know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, the work that you did with Faith on that album and just that energy and that chemistry you guys had, like, that was such a great sound. Like, just talk about what kind of zone you were in for that album, because that was an amazing sound.
That was like actually like a dream come true too, to work with her, because the first time I heard her, I was on my way. I was interning. I hadn't got signed or anything. I was interning back in Detroit. I was going to the studio, and I
Yeah.
heard I remember Face First, and I was like, oh God, I gotta work with her. I didn't even know who she was yet. And come to find out, you know what I mean? She signed a Bad Boy. So um, I think why I'm all over that album too is that like I kind of knew her, like I studied her sound. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I studied her sound, and I studied Chucky. You know what I mean? So it was like when she heard my stuff, it was like a hybrid of Chucky and times J Dub. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And then one of the records, like Lately the remix, which I know you did, like that remix is insane. Like that's even better than the original.
Yeah. It was. It should have been on the. It should have been on the album, but politics.
Mm.
Yeah. Politics definitely, because I know, because when I heard the album when it was done, I was like, wait a minute, this ain't the version I did. I was like, all right, I get it. You know what I mean? So but you
Yeah.
know what I mean. I wasn't tripping because I'm like, I produced like half that album,
Yeah. Because I
so
think with that record, I think they went with the record that with the version that I think David Foster had a part of because they wanted to push that to radio,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Of of course, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad. I'm on an album with David Foster, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just boosts up. You know what I mean. My publishing, so it's all good.
Yeah. And then of course we have to highlight the Puffy record "Satisfy You" that you did. That was a big song. That was a big song that year.
Oh man, I think I did that in the Bahamas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of those trips where um, he flew us all out to the Bahamas for like a couple weeks just to bang out and work on his album. And it was one of those records like that trip. I couldn't catch a vibe. Like, I mean, we had
Mm.
records, we had rum, we had the ocean, the MP right here, the ocean right there. I mean, this perfect setup, but I couldn't catch a vibe. But it was like maybe like the last night I was there, I finally caught a vibe, and that's when "Satisfy You," um, that that record came, and
Yeah, that was a
Puff heard
massive
it,
hit.
and like they went crazy.
Yep.
And, so, and that record happened pretty quick too, because like when we got back, I think it was like done and mixed. Art Kelly was on and everything, like done and mixed in 2 weeks, and it was the first.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so Jay, around this time, and you might have to correct me on the timeline, because while you're at Bad Boy, you're also still working at Noontime, right?
Yep.
So kind of take me, because Noontime, of course, Jazzy Faye's there, Jonte Austin's there, B. Cox, Teddy Bishop, like that itself, the Casey brothers are there, like that itself is a slew of talent. So take me back to that era, working at Noontime.
Well, that's right. Before the Puff, um, the Puff era,
Yep.
um, it was this production company called Noontime that I started
Yep.
with, and what they would do, they were like headhunters. Like they would go out and get you placements everywhere. So we started out. It was me and Dent, and
Mm.
it grew. I think then Jazzy came, Teddy came. John Teddy was always at my house all the time. So it was like one. It was like even Jack Knight. Jack,
Mm.
Jack Knight came down, and so it was like a Bad Boy before Bad Boy. I mean, because
Wow.
Jazzy Faye, Teddy Bishop, B Cox.
Yep.
B Cox is a product. Who else? Dent. I think that's. Oh, and I can't think. I can't. Fambro, Ken
Oh,
Fambro.
yep. Yep.
So um, so they were just doing placements everywhere. So
Mm.
and when they were trying to get Absolute placed, that's when Puff heard me. So my situation was kind of crazy too, because I had a situation with Noontime over here, and I had a situation with Bad Boy over here. And at the end of the day, that you know what I mean,
Yep.
that didn't work. But you know what I mean, that's a whole nother book. You did.
That's amazing. I mean, yeah, just even looking back at Noontime and just the talent that came out of there. Like we mentioned a couple. Nivea came originally from Noontime. Ashanti was there at a point. Like just and then everyone managed to make it. Like just talk
Yeah,
about like
yeah,
what was so special about Noontime?
yeah. It was. I I think it was just like we all excuse me, came together at
Yeah.
the right time. Like it was
Yeah.
like the sun and the stars and the moon, and it was just like the energy down here in Atlanta. It was like really good for R&B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like if you was trying to do R&B like at that time and
Yeah.
trying to pursue that, it just like it was a really good energy for that. And if you
Yeah.
had a team that would really, you know what I mean, hit the streets and go after those placements back then,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
you was gonna win. So like that's where I came from. So like I came from like a whole jumbo of like talent, you know,
Right.
like and we all went our own way. Jazzy went his way, Teddy did his thing at the end of the day, you know what I mean? But we all came from that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward a little bit here. You're working at Bad Boy, and then at some point you move over to Blackground and you start working with those artists. Like, take me through that transition.
Yeah, so after the crazy times with Noontime and Bad Boy, after I finally got out of that, I moved to the West Coast. I was like, well, let me
Mm.
try the West Coast. And I signed with Barry Hickinson's Blackground.
Yeah.
And at that time, they had just did the deal with Virgin with Aaliyah.
Yeah.
So uh, um, Aaliyah was shooting what was that? Queen of the Dam is her last movie, right?
Yep.
She,
Yep.
she was shooting that, and the record company wanted the album and the movie to come out at the same time. So she was shooting the movie in Melbourne, Australia. So
Mm.
Virgin was like, I tell you what, all of the producers that's working on the album, we're going to fly y'all out there too. And y'all cut the
Wow.
album at the same time. So that's how we all got to Melbourne for like almost a month working on that album. And it was just a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just your production on that album alone, like I Refuse, as well as Steady Ground, like you were on something there because like just it was like an orchestra going on. It was insane.
You know what? That those records are so big too. Is because come and think about it, I did those records like all over the world, like all over.
Mm.
Like I started some of them in New York. I started some of them in L.A.
Yep.
Then finished a lot of them in Australia.
Yep.
So like all of that is just a combination of me just being different places, hearing different things, and it's just coming together. So it was like, like I think everybody, all of the producers on that album, like we were all like our game was totally elevated. Like we were totally in a zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on the record Steady Ground, like you, Static, and Aaliyah, like you guys did something that was like incredible. It didn't even come out, which is crazy, but like just taking me back to that song.
Um. Wow. Static wrote that at the studio called the Music Grinder in Hollywood. We had that studio like that was basically like our studio, and
Yep.
during that time. And I was in the A room, and I did the beat. And I knew the beat was special.
Yep.
As soon as I did the beat, it's funny. I'm thinking back. Static came in the room, and he had this thing that he did. And if he hears something, he started doing it, and he just started writing.
Yep.
And I say 5 minutes later, he went in the booth and cut the hook to Steady Ground.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. And he said, yo, baby girl gonna kill us. She's gonna kill us.
Yep.
And she cut it, and it was incredible. The label loved it. And my engineer lost the vocals.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the vocals that we wanted to use, we didn't have them, so they went another way. So
Wow.
uh,
That's it happens.
it happens, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, just talking about working with Aaliyah and Static and just the memories you have with them in the studio, because like those are two amazing artists and you were part of that mix. Like just take me back to those moments.
man, Static was a cool cat. Like he was real smooth, real laid back. But once he got to know you and opened up, he was a jokester. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was a brilliant, brilliant songwriter. Like to watch him write and his approach and how he did it, it was witnessing a genius. Like, cause like he would write the songs and it seemed like his rhythm would be on, but then he'd go in the booth and his timing would be like, it was crazy. So, like I learned a lot. You know what I mean? Like just to be around that, it makes you elevate your game. You know, so
Wow.
I think that's why the music sounded so great back then too, because everybody pushed each other to be great.
Yeah. And from what I heard, like those studio sessions, like Aaliyah recorded fast as well, right?
Oh man, quick! It wasn't like cumbersome to do a session and it was like, oh, can you do that note over? It was like they go in the booth, boom, 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 and it's done.
Wow.
And we're laughing and joking about like, yo, that's gonna be sounding crazy on the radio. Like we would do records like that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah.
So, some other Blackground records I want to talk about that you were a part of, Tank Slowly. Like that's a musical journey right there as well.
Wow. I, st- I started that record in New York, Chung King Studios. Um, they had an organ, the piano, and a drum set up in the live room. Like I had like a huge room. We had a huge live room. I was like, man, I'm thinking about just playing all live instruments on the track and see how it come out. And slowly, and the slowly beat came up. It was like I would play a drum track, then I play the piano. I'm like, yo. Then I played the bass, and then I just kept building. I was like, perfect for Tank. So me and Tank rode around for like about a couple weeks, listening to it over and over again. Then until finally he was like, "Yeah, I got something." And Tank went in there and he cut that like all live, all straight down with no auto tune.
Wow.
All those vocals are him straight down, no auto tune, nothing. Yeah, all that. Yeah, he's a he's a vocal savage. Yeah, no auto tune. Slowly is no auto tune, and
That's insane.
and live instruments.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then J-Dub, I gotta ask about the other Tank record, Freaky. Like when I listen to that song now, it doesn't even sound like Tank. Like what was going on in that song? Oh, hopefully we didn't lose him here. I think we may have lost J-Dub there. I'm gonna try kicking him out, and we'll add. Oh, you're good?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So
Yeah,
where were we?
that Freaky record, the Freaky record.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that was one of them records where I mean you try something and it don't work. It was a lot of fun though, making the video.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the record label didn't know what to do with that record. And Blackground had a different vision than Virgin with that record. And it just, it didn't, it didn't do what, everybody thought it was going to do. But it was fun and it was
Yeah.
different. It
Yep.
was, it was definitely different.
Yep.
Because I know I was on some I was on some Lenny Kravitz type. I know I was zoned out on that track.
Oh man. Man, that's hilarious. And then we
Yeah.
got to talk about Romeo Must Die. You were on that soundtrack as well. You did a record for Joe.
Wow.
Let's talk about that one.
Wow. That a rose in the concrete
Yep.
portal. I had a ball doing that record because back then, um, I had the reel, the 2 inch, so I was able
Yep.
to kind of cut up, like chop up the record how I wanted it. So it was fun. It was fun doing that
Yeah.
record. And when it came out, everybody was like, "Yo," they loved that record. So like to
Yeah.
hey, everybody's like, "I love that record." So yeah,
That's a great one too. Now,
yeah.
J-Dub, I got to ask the real questions here.
Okay.
You do this great body of work for Blackground. I can't find it anywhere on Spotify. Like how disappointing is that for you as a producer? You do so much great work and no one can even listen to it.
Man, wow. Um, I know why. Um, her music isn't being played, and it's whack. Um, a lot of my friends who are producers on the album,
Yep.
um, like they deserve to have their music heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think like that's a disservice to her legacy for her music not to be heard. Like her fans love Aaliyah.
Yep.
Like I'm like they hit me like every day. Like I really love this. I'm like, yo, like still, and it's like they will not put out her music. So
Yep.
I think in time her catalog will come out.
Mm.
But it's just unfortunate, right now that none of that stuff is like none of the Tank stuff is out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
None of Leah's stuff. Matter of fact, um, it, Romeo Must Die isn't out either, is
I
it?
don't think so. No.
Come
Yep.
on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. So, but that's, the shady part of the music business, that you always hear about, but yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But,
Yeah.
and, in time,
Yeah.
I think it'll come out.
Hopefully, like JoJo was signed to Blackground, and she actually what she did was she re-recorded the music and put it out last year, and I think the producers get credit for the remake as well.
That's
So
dope.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but, everybody, like, loves Aaliyah stuff. Like,
Yeah.
she's just one of those timeless artists. So I think,
Yeah.
it's inevitably, her stuff is gonna come out.
Yeah. I mean, how does that work for you as a producer? I mean, obviously, luckily for you, you have a catalog outside of the Aaliyah work, but like for you, I'm sure that's still money that could be made
Oh
from
my
from
God, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
that's multi-platinum artists like bringing in royalties, like,
Yeah.
because like she's still selling. Well, she's not selling, but if she was out, she would be
Yeah.
multi-platinum easy.
Yeah. That's insane. So J-Dub, kind of just bring us up to date with what you've been currently doing. I know last year you put out a record and you've been putting out some music. Like just take me back, take me to current J-Dub. Like where are you currently at?
Well, after the Blackground stuff, after
Yeah.
Leah and all Tank, after that, like I kind of took like a pause. I took a
Yeah.
break. And then when I came back into the game, like I took a broad pause, like from like '05 to like '08.
Yeah.
When I came back, um, instead of making records, because I was writing a lot, and then I got a call. It's like, yo, duh, I need like 30 music beds for Tyler Perry. Um, the old music director, he quit. Can you get him to me? I was like, yeah, easy. I sent the music bed like that Monday. She said, "Oh, Tyler Perry loved it. Matter of fact, he loved all the beds. He wants all of them, and he wants to give me the job to score all the sitcoms. Meet the
Wow.
House of Pain." So when I came back, I was like in the TV side of it. So I was scoring all of both his sitcoms, and I was doing like his plays. Like he do plays, and then I got into doing films, film scoring from that. Of course, it was kind of easy transition. So I scored a few movies, a faith-based film called God's Country, and
Mm.
another independent film by his brother, um, Embry Perry, No More Games. Um, and then after that, I started developing young and upcoming talent and
Yeah.
producers. So I've really been doing the music and the TV and movie. So
Right. Would you say that that's more rewarding for you than back in the 90s when you're grinding it out in the studio?
yeah,
Yeah.
um, I think when the royalties kind of switched up, when the music game kind of switched up, um, the money wasn't so much front loaded on the front ends for
Yeah.
producers. Like, when I came up, like we was getting like 50, 60 racks a track. You know what I mean? And our publishing and you know what I mean, all that. Like so I think with the uh invention of the DAW and a lot of these softwares that made it so accessible for everybody to make music. I think the value of it went down. So I was kind of blessed to transition into TV and film at that time because there wasn't no money in selling beats anymore.
Right.
So, and then when I started doing the TV and film, it was better because it was more consistent. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
So,
and less headache.
right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yo, they want this scene to feel this way. Blah, 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 blah. And I actually literally, like, they would send it to me. I would do it in my studio and send it back, and that scene would be done. And I'll look on TV, like, later
Wow.
on that week, and that scene would be on TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like working with TV studio too shows you, like, how the factory, like, they're just a factory. It was literally like, okay, Dub, we need this scene immediately. We want it to feel funny, and then they would literally send me the scene with no music or nothing, you know. And I would score it and send it back, and it's on TV.
Wow.
I have I think 2.5 seasons with that. So
Wow.
and it's funny to flip through the TV and and then see a sitcom with good music on it.
Is that as enjoyable as turning on the radio and hearing one of your hits?
It's more.
Is it?
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's in syndication now.
Yeah.
It's like any time of the year I could just flip and see it, and it's like, yo, my music is on there. But it's funny. But I don't stop and listen to
Yep.
it. It's just good to see it. It's
Right.
like, yeah, okay, cool, that's my music, that's me.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, because most people, if they hear that quick 30-second, 20-second, they won't know it's you, but you know it's you.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 And just to think back what I was doing those tracks. Just
Yeah.
those little pieces. Like, I would literally like just sit and do like 30-second music beds, like 50
Yeah.
of them. Every night. Just da, 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 da. All right, that's one. You know what I mean? So, but that was my life for like 2 years. And
Wow.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
So, yeah, man. Jado, we're almost out of time here, but I need you to do us a favor. You got to write a book and just let us in on all your experiences and just all that knowledge that you've been able to capture in your career, because like you have a lot that I'm sure you want to share people on, up and coming producers, musicians, people that want to get into the industry. You have all that knowledge, so you got to share it with the people.
Okay. Well, I'll leave everybody with this, especially young aspiring music producers, songwriters, engineers, everybody that wants to pursue this music business. Always remember that it's a music business, and it's the business first. Always take care of your business, meaning always have somebody look at your contract with you. If you're not sure of something, if you don't know something, ask and educate yourself and
Right.
figure it out. Because it's better to catch it at the beginning than you get in a situation and you're working and you're vibing and the paperwork's not right and you throw the vibe
Right.
off and everything is all bad. So always take care of your business and always follow the music that's in your heart. Especially today, everybody wants, that hit. So everybody wants to sound just like what's on the radio.
Right.
I think that's why music sounds so saturated, like the same, because everybody just wants that hit like on the radio versus doing music that's in your heart. Because when you do that, you stand out, you stick out, and you make your own sound. And people are like, yo, but yeah, that's nice, because everybody do that on the radio, but what they doing there is, woo, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's real. The people gonna gravitate, to the real versus you know, the generic, but everything is generic because it's, you know, it sounds the same, you know. So it's a few, but it's a few out there that's, you know what I'm saying, is authentically, you know, building. So, but yeah,
Nice.
stay on top of your business, you know, and make the music, you know, that God gave you.
That's awesome. J-Dub, man, we're out of time here, but I want to thank you once again for joining us here. You've got our support, so just hit us up, keep us posted, and we'll definitely, continue to support. And hopefully by the next time we do one of these, some of that Aaliyah music is out.
No doubt, fam. Always love. Always love.
All right, man. You take care.
Peace.